After we finished cleaning up, we gathered back in the dorm rooms. Of course, there was a publicly sanctioned school, so the guys wouldn't be staying in the same room as us. Can't do that. It's bad. There were 2 separate rooms for the boys and girls to sleep in. Of course, we all wanted to have fun together until lights out. So everyone gathered in the girls' room, made a toast with the drinks Miss Hinagata brought us, and proceeded to engage in all sorts of fun. Even Kurokami was actively participating in the conversation, like she was tuned in to the right channel for once. That's mean. We talked about many different things. The most exciting topic was Ryura's inside stories of the entertainment business. Things are going too well. I don't trust this. It was a rare occasion, to say the least, so we took the opportunity to ask Kurokami some things. Is that doll you're always carrying around important to you? Yes. Very. Stuff like that. However, it didn't seem like she would be staying over. Given that she lived in a shrine, her family was probably very strict. As such, she was planning to only hang around for a little while, then go home. And then the clock hit 9. Miss Hinagata left, saying she'd had to go to the staff room. Kurokami also looked up at the clock as she stood up, as if telling us she had to leave too. With Miss Hinagata out of the way, I figured it was the perfect chance to talk about my love! I wanted to make the announcement while Kurokami was still there, with the whole LCSC present. I winked at Suzumu. He didn't get it, of course, because he's a stupid boy. So I interrupted his card game with Asuda to call him over.
Nani?
What is it? I was thinking we should tell everyone now.
発表って?
Tell them what? I took everything I had not to slug him in the face and shout that we're going out, dumbass! Just then, Suzumu smiled.
僕とキコちゃんが付き合うことになったって?
Oh, you mean that we're going out? Oh, yeah.
わかってるじゃん。
So you do get it?
わざわざ言うことかな?
Do we really need to tell them?
言うことなの。
Yes?
じゃないと、スズムがまだフリーだと思って言い寄ってくることが現れるかもしれないでしょ。
Some people might think you're still available and try to wooing you. Yeah, we don't want that. No wooing here.
いないと思うけどな.
I don't think there's anyone like that here. Are you sure about that? How many hours are we in? How many arcs did we do? Anyway. Oh, there was alright. Every girl in this room, in fact, minus Kurokami.
お願いスズム。こういうことははっきりさせたいの。
Please, Suzumu. I want to set the record straight.
みんなの前で堂々と発表できて初めて認められると思うの。
If we could tell everyone to their faces, I think they'll accept it.
まあ、キコちゃんがいいならいいと思うよ。
Well, if you're okay with it, I guess it's fine.
おい、スズハラのターンだぜ。
Hey, Suzuhara, it's your turn. No, it's me and Suzumu's turn.
黒髪さん、帰る前にちょっといい？
Kurokami, do you mind waiting a minute? Huh?
みんな、
Huh?
ちょっと聞いてください。
Oh, hey guys, there's something I want to tell you.
何事？
What's up?
なんだどうしたってんだ。
What? What's happening? Suzumu and I stood side by side and the others fell silent. The silence made it hard on me. Forget it, this is all or nothing.
私、春宮椿子と鈴原鈴
Suzumu, Suzuhara, and I, Subakiko, and Harumiya.
付き合うことになりました。
Are going out! The whole room grew quiet. I could feel myself sweating. Everyone's eyes were wide. Would it kill someone to clap or congratulate us? The silence was killing me.
あんたたち、いつからそういうことになってたの？
How long has this been going on?
先週私から告って。
Since I confessed last week.
それって料理勝負しようって決めた先週の日曜日のことですか？
By that, you mean the day we first decided to have the cooking competition? Yeah. Oh, they don't like this.
なんかフェアじゃないな。
You know, that's just not fair.
そうですよね。春宮先輩、フェアじゃないです。
What she said, that was very cruel of you. Wait, what? Minami and Ryura were glaring daggers at me. There wasn't the faintest hint of smile on their faces. You were dead serious. I winced. This was not what I expected.
私たち
Ooh, she's
公
doing
平
the...
に対決しようって決めましたよね。
We decided to settle this fair and square, didn't we?
なのに春宮先輩、あっさり抜け駆けしたってわけなんですよね。
And yet you went and took a head start behind our backs. That's pretty mean.
感じ悪いよ。
You disgust me.
私たちの気持ち分かってたでしょ。あの日私たち素直に言ったもん。
You knew how we felt, didn't you? We were honest about our feelings that day.
言ったって。
Honest?
だって見延先輩は茶化したような言い方だったし、
But you sounded like you were joking, Minabe.
リリアちゃんだって恋愛じゃなくて親愛だって言ってたじゃん。
And Rira, you said you just cared deeply for him and nothing more. What is... Wait. Okay.
あ、そうですか。そういう態度ですか。
Oh, I see. So that's your game, is it now?
すっとぼけたふりしてなかなかやってくれますね。
You've got quite the nerve to play dumb.
おいらも見誤ったよ。
I was so wrong.
そういう子だとは思わなかった。
I never thought you had it in you.
やめようよ。どうしたのみんな。
Stop, guys. What's gone into you?
マジになりすぎだぜ。青春の1ページじゃねえかよ。
Don't you think you're taking this too seriously? It's just another page in our book of adolescence. The atmosphere was so strained that even the boys were dismayed. They couldn't even play their card games. Even the normally inattentive Kurokami was staring me down.
それは確かにフェアじゃないって言い方はあるかも。
Well, yeah, maybe you could say it wasn't fair.
でもさ、別に告っちゃいけないなんてルール決めなかったでしょ。
But you know, no one ever said we weren't allowed to confess or anything. Isn't that right?
なら恋愛なんて早い者勝ちじゃん。
And it's first come, first served where love is involved.
それを何かさもルールがありましたみたいにぐちぐち言われるのも腹立つんだけど。
It pisses me off that you're bitching at me like there was some rule against that.
キコちゃん。
Hiko.
あんたたちだってスズムのことが好きだったらさっさと告白すればよかったじゃない。
If you like Suzume too, then you should have just confessed right off the bat.
それをしないで勝手なルール作って押し付けて。
But you didn't, and now you're pushing some rules. You pull out of your asses on me.
そんでフェアじゃないってこっちからすると何を勝手に熱吹いてんのって感じ。
If you ask me, that kind of shit is more unfair than what I did.
キコちゃん。
Hiko. Suzume's voice was serious. I held my tongue, but there was nothing to be upset about. Because I had already won. Those two were just idiots for thinking this was some romance manga. Regina Head Start was banned by some bullshit status quo. Ooh, he is a little mad.
そうだね。ヒコチの言う通りだね。
You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right, Kiki.
ますよ。そういう態度ならこっちも考えを改めますから。
Very well. If that's how it's gonna be, then we'll change our line of thinking.
何よ。
What are you?
スズムンはキコチンに告白されたからそれを OK しただけの話で。
Kiko confessed to Suzumoon, so he accepted. That's it. That's all there is to it.
だからって別にさらに誰かがスズムンに告白しちゃいけないルールはないわけだよね。
So that doesn't mean no one else is allowed to confess to him, does it?
早い者勝ちのノールールですものね。春宮先輩の話だとそうなります。
According to Harumiya, there are no rules in that regard. The two were threatening to steal Suzumu away from me, with nothing to indicate they were joking. Ryuri aside, this was the first time I've ever seen the otherwise carefree Minabe look so serious.
やめてよみんな。
Just stop it, everyone. We can all share. I can have all three of you.
No. Suzumu shouted harshly. It rendered us all speechless and brought us back to our senses. It didn't take long for us to start eyeing each other like predators again.
この話はもうやめよう。
Can we stop talking about this?
せっかくの楽しかった時間を失ってまでする話じゃないよ。
Isn't worth letting all the fun we were having go to waste. Oh, Jesus.
そうだね。スズムンの前でする話じゃない。
He's right. We shouldn't talk about this in front of Suzumu.
ですね。私たちだけの話なんですから。
Indeed, this is between the three of us.
せいぜい今は優位に立ったとおごっててくださいね。春宮先輩。
By all means, enjoy the high ground for now, Harumiya.
いいよ。買ってやろうじゃん、その喧嘩。
Fine. You wanna fight? You're on.
人の恋路にチャラチャラ口を出し腐りやがって。上等だよ、こら。
You're pretty ballsy thinking you can swoop in and break up a romance. Bring it on, bitch.
やめなよキコちゃん。僕は罵り合うみんななんて見たくないよ。
Stop it, Kiko. I don't want to see you all fighting.
僕が理由でさっきまでの楽しかった時間が壊れてしまうなら僕は帰るよ。シャチホコ部もやめる。
If I'm the reason why this sleepover's been ruined, then I'm going home. I'll quit the LCSC.
みんなももうやめて。
Just stop it already, okay?
それ以上やったら僕はみんなを幻滅してしまう。
Take this any further, and I'll lose all respect for you. Okay.
おかしいぜお前ら。何なんだよ急に。
Come on, guys. This is crazy. What happened to you? What about me?
ま
Right?
るで何かに取りつかれたみたいによ。急になんだってんだよ。
It's like you're all being possessed by something. Seriously, how things go to shit so quickly. Aren't I great? Right?
Natsuya tried to laugh it off, but it was obvious he was pretty dismayed by the situation. Suzumu was the same. Everyone was having so much fun just minutes ago. The single declaration of love had destroyed it all. This sort of thing wasn't so unusual between mixed-gender groups in the countryside. We were all healthy high schoolers. We should have faced this sort of thing once or twice before. Yet things had never been this serious. The tension was so thick you can cut it with a knife. Like this one. Ching! No. All of a sudden, something snapped loudly. Oh god. A small object fell to Toei's feet. It was one of the arms of the doll she was holding. Oh, that can't be good.
Whoa.
She groaned and dug her nails into her face as if she was trying to endure some sort of agony.
大丈夫？
Are you okay? Oh.
Her forehead grew clammy with sweat. Her eyes glazed over and she stared out blankly into space. It was very sudden and uncanny, yet welcome at this point in time. Suzumu ran over to Toei to help her, but she swatted him away. Pshh!
夜な
Stay back.
汚れが苦しい
More corruption hurts. Huh? Toei glared at the other girls in the room.
この男と共になってはならない
You mustn't be with this man.
鈴原に近づきすぎれば不幸が訪れる
If you get too close to Suzuhara, he will bring you misfortune. And with that, she fell to her knees. The doll she treasured with utmost zeal fell out of her hands. Miss Hinagata came back just then.
トエちゃんどうしたの？しっかり
Toei, what's wrong? Hang in there. Oh. Miss Hinagata picked up the doll and gave it to Toei and helped her to her feet.
ちょっと彼女を家まで送ってくるわ。
I'll take her back to her house.
トエちゃん大丈夫？
Are you okay,
私がわ
Toei?
かる？
Do you recognize me? Go away. The two of them vanished hurriedly down the hall. Everyone was left at a total loss. Silence of night enveloped the room once more. Afterwards, the girls abruptly went back to their usual cheer and the party ended. To the boys, their change was creepy and beyond comprehension. To the girls, the boys must have seemed like immature children who didn't know how to switch off. Even after Suzumu and Natsuya returned to the boys' room, they were still speechless at the events that just occurred.
女って怖えな。
Man, girls are scary.
それでもさっきのはちょっとおかしいよ。
Still, something was off about that.
月の光って人の心を惑わすって言うしな。
They say that moonlight does strange stuff to people.
今夜は月が
And
でけえ。
werewolves.
惑わされたんだろうよ。
And well, the moon's huge tonight, so maybe that was why. You know how women are in cycles?
きっと女子どもも今頃みんなで自己嫌悪大会だろうぜ。
I'm sure the girls are wallowing in self-loathing right about now.
だがよ、それも含めてグレートな青春の1ページなのさ。
But even so, I think I'll make a great page in our book of adolescence.
ありがとう夏くん。
Thanks, Natsu.
ちょっぴりだけ心が楽になったよ。
I feel a little better.
寝ちまおうぜ。何も考えずに。明日も早いしな。
Let's just sleep, man. Don't let it get to you. We've got an early start tomorrow.
寝つける自信がないよ。
I'm not sure I'll be able to sleep.
睡魔が来るまでオールナイトデュエルでも俺は全然グレートだぜ。
Well, I'll be cool with a great all-night duel until Mr. Sandman comes knocking.
じゃあちょっとだけやろっか。
Okay, yeah, sure. Just a little.
おう。
You bet. What a bro. Ooh, quick save. What time is it? Oh, it's only been... Alright, we'll keep going. I was in the midst of a dark night, or perhaps in the midst of the suit-like snow piling up. A mighty wind drifted by. The gale grew stronger, its howl like the roar of the sea during a storm. Ow, my eyes. An ear-piercing tide bellowed, and the earth trembled as I was suddenly blinded by a flash of light in the darkness. I realized I was in the passageway at a concert hall, surging with a flood of intense light and sound. For an idol show. A group of young men held up multicolored glow sticks to the tune of the song. The stage lights were focused on a single young idol. This was my first time seeing her, yet I could tell exactly who she was.
リリアちゃん。
Is that Riria?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming.
リリーはこんなに大勢に愛されて幸せ者なの。
Happy to be loved by so many people. Celia's fans cheered in response. I was the only one in the audience confused, standing completely frozen.
Just then, she started passing through the audience to a round stage in the center of the hall. The fans all reached their hands out to her like zombies emerging from their graves. The girl took a look at the countless hands and curved her lips into an impish smirk. Nope.
この中にリリーに触れてもいいお手手は一本もないの。
I can't touch a single one of these.
だからダメ。
So they've got to go.
All of a sudden, the color of lights changed, and so did the world. A row of guillotine racks rose along the elevated walkway to the stage. The fans fanatically put their hands through the racks and reached out to her.
バッチリお手手はみんなクリンクリン。
Let's make those icky hands of yours squeaky clean.
And as if that were a signal, the guillotine blades dropped one after another like a chain of dominoes. Arms filled the ground, and geysers of crimson blood splurted from the stumps in succession. The blood splattered across the audience like party streamers celebrating her arrival. Their faces were warped in pain, but they cackled as though that was what they wished for. They were sweating. As they endured the agony, they smiled. Like they were being blessed for sacrificing their hands to her. She slowly made her way through the crowds of fans and severed arms. She took center stage and found me right in front of it. Suddenly, several dazzling spotlights shone on me.
お掃除の国のプリンセスに触れてもいいのはこの人だけなの。
The only one who may touch the princess of Cleaning Land.
私の瞳に映るのはあなただけ。スズムお兄ちゃん。
Seaweed is the only big brother I'll ever need.
Roars were sounding akin to screams. It wasn't unreasonable. Those fans had given their hands for her, yet there I was, upstaging them for no apparent reason. Her announcement had been like a death sentence.
もうリリーはみんなのものじゃないの。だからみんないらない。
Belong to you all anymore, so I don't need you.
All of a sudden, rows of giant guillotines lined the stage. They could bring their blades down themselves like fangs, as if they were monsters in guillotine shape.
リリーが好きなのはスズムお兄ちゃんだけでいいの。
The only one I'll ever want.
だからみんなはお掃除マジックでクリンクリン。
With my sparkle magic, I'm gonna make this place squeaky clean.
She raised her hand, prompting the giant guillotines to jump off the stage and sink. And then they reaped her thousands of adoring fans like combined harvesters in the paddy field. Fingers, arms, head, legs, and body parts I don't even recognize rapidly flew across the hall. Those gruesome harvesters made quick work of the audience. The hall was wrapped in the stillness of death before I can even process what I was witnessing.
これでもマジカルリリーはスズムお兄ちゃんだけのものなんだよ。
And now you can have me all to yourself.
他に何もいらないの。ただスズムお兄ちゃんだけがいてくれればいい。
I don't need anyone else, just you.
She descended the stage and slowly stepped toward me, walking a red carpet of viscera all the way. All of a sudden, two protrusions started growing slowly from her head. They looked like pitch black branches or deer antlers.
君はリリアちゃんなのか？
Are you Riria?
ううん違うよ。マジカルリリ
No, I'm Magical Lily.
ー。スズムお兄ちゃんはこんなに華奢で可愛らしい女の子を
You're really lucky to have a sister as cute as me.
自分だけのものにしてキューって抱きしめてみたくない？
Dorby Angel is all yours. Don't you wish you could just give me a big old bear hug?
何を言ってるのかわかんないよ。
I have no clue what you're talking about.
まだ胸もないんだよ。汚れた 大人の女になる前の無垢な
Look at this pure body before I got breast and became a corrected adult.
お兄ちゃんだけのものにして
You can make me all yours if you want.
The little Riri smiled seductively and wrapped her fingers around my own. And all of a sudden, she shriveled up. No, I was growing bigger? I was becoming as tall as a giant with each passing second. Oh, this is weird. Oh, there it goes. Before long, the concert hall of death looked as small as a miniature. Thud. It was all swallowed up and locked in a round cookie jar. Oh no, not this place. Where was I? I found myself in a room straight out of a fairy tale. I was sitting in a chair, an afternoon tea set lying on a table before me.
ふざけた小娘だね。やってくれるよ。
Arrogant little girl, she's done it now. It was her who'd shut the cookie jar. She pulled duct tape seemingly out of nowhere and wrapped it around and around and around and around and around the jar.
Minobe senpai.
Minabe?
ここではエリスって呼んで。
Nuh-uh, call me Ellis here.
僕はいつからここに
When did I get here? All of a sudden, a large jar fell from the cupboard with a loud wham. It was a different cookie jar. But I could tell from a glance that something wasn't right about it. There was just as much duct tape around it as the other one, but this one had several kitchen knives stuck into it too. The jar shook, as if something inside was trying to get my attention.
にぎやかだな。
Still got energy to spare, huh? She marched over the jar with a blatant irritation. Next, she picked it up carelessly, tossed it in the cupboard, and closed the door.
今のは
What was that?
スズムンには関係ない。関係ないの。無関係。
Nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing.
Her response was curt. I could never have imagined seeing such a heartless expression on her face before today. I stood there speechless for a while, until her features softened slightly.
ねえスズムン。つまんないよね。私たちの日常って。
Hey, Suzumoon, don't you think our day-to-day lives are boring?
学校も家族も日常は何もかも本当につまんないよね。
School, our families, it's all such a drag, isn't it?
でもここは違うんだよ。
Things are different here. She opened the window with a smile. It must have been a tower or something, because far below us was an unbelievable verdant landscape out of a picture book. Villages and staples, bridges and windmills. I felt like I've been dumbed into a fairy tale.
ここには夢もあるし冒険もある。
Here, there are dreams and adventures.
ここでは私はお姫様だしスズムンは王子様なんだよ。
Here, I'm a princess, and you're a prince.
そして毎日が何かの記念日で毎日新しい出会いがあり毎日新しい冒険がある。
Every day is a holiday. There are always new meetings and new adventures.
こんな楽しい世界をオイラとスズムンで二人占めできるんだよ。
We can have this fun world all to ourselves. Just then the Just then the cupboard clattered and shook. Whoever was trapped inside it was clearly seeking help.
スズムン
Suzumu?
あの戸棚の中の缶には何が入ってるのかな
Is something in that jar in the cupboard?
何も
No. She glared at it with irritation. That was a bald-faced lie, of course.
中身見せてもらうね
Then show me what's inside.
スズム
Suzumu. I was more stunned by the look on her face than her sudden shout. That expression was utterly unlike my dainty, laid-back upperclassman.
いいじゃんそんなのの中身なんてどうだって
Forget what's inside. It doesn't matter.
I heard a cracking sound from her head, her skull. Two black horns like withered branches sprouted out of it.
それよりさもう一度外を見てみようよ。
Anyway, take another look outside.
スズムン男の子だからこういうの好きだと思うな。
You're a boy, so I think you're gonna like this. Only her lips were smiling. Her eyes regarded me like a predator baring its fangs. I heard something off in the distance. The earth was shaking and many people were screaming. It was like something out of a monster movie. I approached the window, looked down on the world, and noticed it was no longer the idyllic landscape I had just seen. My monster movie comparison turned out to be right on the mark. Countless caterpillars the size of windmills creeped across the earth, devouring this whole world. The villagers fled for their lives, but were eaten one after another. They had nowhere to run. They were nothing more than cookie crumbs scattered on the floor of the caterpillars. Cries of agony from the insects' prey and the wailing of infants echoed across the land. This was a fairy tale, all right. One straight out of hell.
さあ冒険が始まるよムーンスートの王子様
Our adventure is finally about to begin, oh Prince of Moonsuit.
人々が怪物に苦しめられているよ世界が勇者を求めてる
People are suffering at the hands of monsters. The world needs a hero.
さあ王子私と冒険の旅に出かけよ
Now go forth with me on this quest, brave prince.
巨大怪物たちを操るセチュの王を探し出そうそして闇に封印する聖なる剣を探しに行こう
We must find the Seth King who controls these beasts and locate the holy sword to seal the darkness.
退屈な現実世界なんてもう忘れて私と二人で冒険に出かけようよ
Forget that boring other world and go on an adventure with me. She should have heard the screams and cries of the villagers. Yet she talked about all of it as though it were the start of something exciting and fun. Just then, the room trembled from a violent quake.
ほら冒険が向こうからやってくる
Look, adventure is coming to us. The room shook so hard it was impossible to stand. What's going on? At that moment, the ceiling collapsed and something giant fell upon us. Ugh. It wasn't one of the caterpillars that assaulted the world, but something even uglier.
はあどこから迷い込んだんだかこの豚肉が
Where did you crawl in from, you porky bastard? She called it pork, but all I saw was the hideous giant blob, the color of flesh. The blob monster roared as it sluggishly slithered over to her. She laughed sardonically as it appearance as she pulled a sharp-tipped parasol out of nowhere and stood on her guard.
ミノベ犬王国第一王女エリスがお相手してやるさあ冒険の始まりだ
I, Ellis, first princess of the Arcanine Minobe Kingdom, shall slay you, foul demon. Now let the adventure begin. I could tell the other two were opposed to each other, but I didn't know who to help. Heck, I didn't even know what was going on at all. Me neither. Just then, the cookie jar in the cupboard clattered again. I ran over to it once I was sure she wasn't paying attention to me. I pulled out the knife stuck in the jar, tore off the layers of duct tape, and opened the lid. Ooh. Pitch black soot spewed and engulfed the world in darkness. Strange series of events had left me a laughing wreck. I was taking no pleasure in any of this, naturally.
もうさっきから何なんだよ
Seriously, what in the world is happening here?
わけがわからない
None of it makes any sense. I was in the midst of a dark snowfield. A blizzard of soot-like snow held around me, dyeing everything pitch black. Part of me was convinced this had to be a really bad nightmare. In that case, I wanted to at least know what it was about. What was it trying to tell me? Before long, something came into view through the pitch-black blizzard.
これは
It's, a large metal lump was cool to the touch. I knew that shape. It was similar to those hanging bells they had in the temples. Just then, I felt vibrations coursing through the object. Almost like someone was banging on it from the inside, begging for help.
誰か中にいるのかい
Is someone in there? Is that you, Suzumu? Help me!
キコちゃんこの中にいるのかい
Kiko, you're in there? Let me out! Get me out of here! I grasped the bell and put my back into it, but it didn't even budge. It was just too heavy. I looked around to see if there were any tools or people nearby. But there's nothing but a pitch-black snowfield as far as the eye could see. me out! Get me out!
今助けるから。
I'll save you. Oh, I even stepped back and tried ramming it, but that didn't work either. Use your fists that you punch trees with. Body slamming a solid lump of metal was no different than trying to punch through a steel door. Despite that, I endured the pain and kept ramming into it over and over and over again, but ultimately, it was pointless.
無理だ。
I can't do it. I gasped for air as I fell to my knees. All of a sudden, I heard another voice. It was coming from above.
誰にも救えない。
No one can save her. I surveyed my surroundings. No one was to be found. When I looked up, I saw someone sitting on top of the bell.
降り積もりし年月の重み。貴様ごときに払える道理はなし。
The likes of you have no means with which to wipe away the sands of time.
黒髪さん、
Kurokami?
この中に人が閉じ込められているんだ。
Someone's trapped in here.
救いたいか。
Do you wish to save her?
助けなきゃ。
We have to.
ならば無駄を知るまで存分に試せ。
Then keep on trying till you grasp the fertility of your actions. She gave me a belittling smirk from her perch on the bell. Do you think you can save her? Then by all means do try. That was what her expression appeared to say. I kept looking around, but I couldn't find anyone or anything that would be any help. It was clear that Kurokami had no intention of helping either, so it was all up to me to do something. Oh yeah, just keep running into it. I staggered to my feet and continued ramming the bell over and over again. My shoulder creaked and ached each time, driving home just how I was accomplishing nothing but injuring my own body. Even so, I couldn't afford to stop. Yielding was not an option, so as long as someone was in there seeking help.
無駄なあがきと理解しろ。
Learn from your futile struggle.
この呪いと業はお前ごときに何とかできるものではない。
Dealing with this curse and this karma is far beyond your capacity.
そうかな。僕はそうは思わないな。
Is that so? I don't believe that.
ふん。
Oh?
だって君は僕を見ている。
After all, you're looking at me. Oh, okay.
どうにもならないものならば僕をそうして見ていたりなんかしない。
You wouldn't be watching if you didn't think I could do anything about it.
黒髪さんはひょっとしたら僕にはどうにかできるかもしれないってわずかの期待を持っているんだ。
Deep down, perhaps you're hoping that this is within my power. Help me! My body's... Oh.
キコちゃん、
Hiko. I couldn't tell what was going on in there, but I clearly had no time to waste. However, I didn't know what to do. There's nothing I could do in the face of something so thick and heavy.
無力さを呪いながら去れ。
Curse your powerlessness and leave us.
お前ごときに変えられる運命などない。
The likes of you cannot hope to alter fate.
このままではキコちゃんは死ぬのか。
Will Kiko die if this keeps up?
死によっても解放されぬ永遠の呪いに身を染める。
You will be stained with an eternal curse from which even death shall offer no release.
なら差し違えたってなんとかしなきゃ。
Then I have to do something, even if it means sacrificing myself. Oh my god. Just then I took up my form. Oh. ITZAH divine tribute style, the sole art I've been trained in for as long as I could remember. But it was meant to be dedicated to God, not for hitting things. Why you hit trees then? I punched trees.
but I would never break through them. And at this moment, I was dealing with a chilly metal wall that had to be even thicker. If I punched it, my hand would break. That was unmistakable. I understood that, yet I took up my form, lowered my stance, and readied my fist all the same.
何の真似だ。
Whatever do you think you're doing?
その小さな拳で鐘が割れるとでも。
You think you can break the bell with that puny fist of yours?
僕にできる最大限がこれなんだ。
This is the most I can do.
何の意味があってずっと修行を重ねてきたのか。僕は今日までわからなかったけれど。
Up until now, I didn't even understand what all this training was for.
誰かを救うためにこの拳を捧げられるなら。
If I can offer my fist to save someone,
本望だ。
then I'll be satisfied. I calmed my mind and honed my spirit as she ridiculed me. I didn't know why, but I felt like I was meant to be here on this day. It was all this was fate, and perhaps it was destined that I would be here.
覇者検証邪悪を打ち破りて正しきを示す。
Haja Kensho, crush evil and demonstrate the righteous path.
鈴原流親善武術鈴原進。
I am Suzumu Suzahara, practitioner of the Suzahara divine tribute style.
いざ
Now! Huh? I felt whirlwinds gather and condense into my fist. Brilliant light leaked out of it, as if I had held a drop of sun in my hand.
お前それは。
What are you? When I saw the look of bewilderment warp her features, I knew. This sacred fist offered unto God would pierce true. Boom. Impossible. My Jesus. All right. Everything shattered like glass in a burst of radiant light. Even the bell and Kurokami were reduced to particles and vanished into the brilliance. The soot-like blizzard scattered apart. Though the round hole in the bell, I saw Subakiko smeared in soot.
キコちゃんキコちゃん
Hiko. She was still breathing. I brushed away the mountains that stood on her body and held her in my arms. Horns like branches were growing over her head.
ありがとう進む。
もう大丈夫だよ。
You're safe now.
うん
Yeah,
これで
and with this,
進むは私だけのものだね。
aren't you?
進む愛してる。
The music really went really weird there.
I love you, Susumu.
だからさ進むのすすを全部私に注ぎ込んで。
Roll your soot into me.
Huh? She spread her arms like wings and wrapped them around my body. Her claws dug into me, keeping me from escaping. And so I ended up becoming her prey. Welp? Everyone's crazy. Don't trust anyone in this game. My god. What was that? We're just gonna do a little, here, let's just do a little, we'll do a nice little save right here. Yep, right here. Oh my god. He was so hopeful. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna punch this giant metal. Oh, look, I did it. I saved the girl. I am hero. Nope. Aw, man.